really excited to be chatting with you today, Tina, because I know you've just finished the 60-day Success Wellness Program. But first of all, anyone who will be listening, tell us a bit more about you and what you do.
Sure. I'm Tina, obviously, based over at Newark. I wear multiple hats. Most people will know me as an event rider, but I also run a transport business. I'm a coach. I'm a university lecturer. I'm a business advisor. I think that's it. I think that'll do for now, won't it? I'm 48, so in the prime of my life, hopefully, but obviously heading towards menopause. Struggled a little bit with carrying an extra stone round that I really shouldn't be carrying. And although I didn't eat badly, I probably wasn't making wise choices because of my lifestyle, because I do work 7 days a week, long hours, and I'm just constantly juggling. So it's very easy to reach for convenience food, basically, biscuits and things like that to keep me going. So I wanted to really empower myself by having a lot more knowledge about food and to learn coping strategies as to what I can reach for when I do get busy and I can still maintain my diet and all that kind of thing. Obviously with my lifestyle, energy is always an issue. So maintaining energy, because I would find I'd get midway through the afternoon and I'd almost go a little bit hypoglycemic and I'd reach for the biscuit barrel to keep me going. And then I'd be moaning at myself when I took my clothes off later on that I've got a muffin top. So just wanted to be able to get my body back to where I felt it was when it was at its peak, when it was very fit and working for me, but wanted to improve my knowledge as well. I've also battled a lot of injuries, so sort of a little bit on the psychological side, sort of feeling like my body was working efficiently for me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really common story about being busy, reaching for things for convenience, and then almost beating yourself up about the thing that you do after you've done the thing.
Oh yeah, fueling myself all day with caffeine and then having a glass of wine to calm down in the evenings.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there a point at which you realized that things weren't working? Because I asked that because when we're in our 20s, we can get away with all these things. At what point did you begin to realize that your lifestyle choices weren't working for you?
I think probably late on, really, because you just get on a treadmill and you keep going. So I think with lockdown as well, that didn't help. I've always put a stone on over the winter. I call it my winter plumage. And then I always lose it by April or May because I start eventing again. I'm course walking, I'm, busy, and it drops off me purely because of the work. But obviously with lockdown, we didn't do that. So last year was, an exceptional year. And because I was at home, I wasn't as busy, obviously, because my business has had to evolve and change. But, I didn't have that stimulus of the competing and the stress and the course walking and all that to get rid of the bit of excess weight. So, I wanted to get to my ideal body feel. I've never weighed myself in my life. I've never been on a diet in my life. It's much more about how I feel my body works as a tool for my job. But I wanted to be able to get to that point without having to nearly kill myself to get to that point.
Absolutely. So in that, it's interesting, isn't it? When we talk about food related to the end result, how we look and how we feel, that the majority of people understand the difference between healthy eating and not healthy eating.
Yeah.
Would you say it's more than that? More than a simple, that's unhealthy?
Yeah, definitely. Because, because I was so active, I used to think, oh no, I'll be fine. I can have the carbs, I can have the potatoes and the pasta because I'm really active. I burn it off. But I sort of was in that very English mindset of slightly meat and 2 veg and potatoes, as a diet, because it's what unless we have those 3 things on the plate, the veggies are the healthy bit, the meat or the fish is the protein, and then something on the side, which is a potato or pasta or something, we don't think it's a meal. And now I've totally got rid of all of that side of my eating. I feel so much better, so much lighter, so much less bloated, but have got the energy. So I think, stuff that is reasonably healthy just doesn't work for some people, does it?
Absolutely. So starting off, it seems like a long time ago, but it really isn't. A little over 3 months. But starting off, what was some of your, if I call them quick wins?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What were some of your quick wins in the early stages?
Quick wins. I think I was lucky that I started the first bit of it in lockdown, so I had the time to food prep. So I think it does take a lot of time and energy in planning initially, but that gets so much easier because it just becomes a habit. You know, my first shop at Holland and Barrett was horrifying. I was just quite shocked at how much I spent. But now that stuff's lasted for ages, so it's great. Smoothies have always been, that's something I've gone to in the past for quick win, energy to take on the yard and have on go. But actually having much more knowledge about what to put in it, how to vary the stuff in it, and putting real, you know, bang for your buck stuff in there was good. Yeah, I think they were really the quick wins for me. And sort of learning how to healthy snack, because I'm very aware, I'm actually at university now between lectures, but I'm very aware of I would snack at my desk out of boredom. And when I'm on the go and I'm busy, I'm fine. I don't reach for food, but it is complete boredom where I reach for food. So actually knowing what's good to have, and a lot of the time acknowledging it's boredom, but also, are you actually thirsty? You know, go and have I struggle with the water intake, so I drink a lot of herbal tea now. So go and have a herbal tea. You know, go and do that instead of having that snack. And actually, first time in the office for ages, I've just cleared out my desk of probably 7 different varieties of caffeine and snacks and things, and just left them on the communal table in the kitchen with a note on it saying, help yourself. All that stuff was still in there. And I now open that drawer and go, oh, well, I don't need that anymore. I don't use that anymore. I don't do this anymore. And I had to do the same in the horse box. You know, in the lorry, I had to go and take all the crap out, all the Haribos. They all had to go, you know, because and that's how I did it. When I started, I did a complete clean down. I emptied every kitchen cupboard, but I got rid of everything that was a temptation, and that helped me no end.
Fantastic. That's great. You mentioned about the early stages of about it feeling like it's hard work, but understanding about behavior change and habit change, like you did with the no drinking, it's a habit formation that you create over time.
Yeah.
So with that transition, I think you're alluding to the fact that it's got easier and it's become a habit now to live like this.
Yeah. And I've had a few meals out with friends, you know, within the limitations we've got at the moment. And I was a bit anxious. I was a bit like, oh, I'm not going to be able to eat anything or do anything, but actually it's fine. And it, you know, they all think it's hilarious that I've stopped drinking, because I was known as a big drinker. You know, I could drink most people under the table. You know, and they're fine. And once the novelty's worn off of them asking me why, and I say, well, just I feel better for it, you know. It moves on, and you know, I have a glass of tonic water and it looks like I've got a gin and tonic, have it in the nice glass, and it's no different.
Absolutely.
You know, and the food wise, things like, I used to be a bread monster. You know, if somebody, when you go to a restaurant and you've got your bread and your olive oil and that, I'd polish the plate off before my meal. But now, you know, I'll allow myself one, because you can't be a martyr to these things. But then that's it. And then I'll make a choice and I'll go, that was lovely. But no, that was just a little taster. Yeah.
So at the moment, and this is a phrase that people talk about a lot, everything in moderation.
Yeah.
So everything in moderation really works when you're there. And it sounds like you're there to be able to have that moderation that works for you, your lifestyle, your likes and dislikes. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And it's acknowledging that everything you do is your choice, you know, and not to be a slave to it, and not to be, you know, not to make a thing of it, but just make a choice. And I think that's a big thing. And it's like, you know, with the drinking, everyone says, you are going to drink again, aren't you? And they sound a bit worried. And I was like, yeah, if I feel like it, I am. But right now I don't feel like it.
Yeah. So you feel like you are fitting in with the social fabric.
Yeah. Because that was a bit of anxiety of changing. You know, my social life very much revolved around really nice meals out and boozy nights and that kind of thing. So it is a bit scary to think lifestyle change, that is going to change. And, you know, I think it probably has made a few friends a bit uncomfortable, because it makes them reflect on their own habits. And clients, because I've been very open about it, you know, on social media and things, because as a coach, a lot of people, they do use you as a role model. And interestingly, I've had a few of my riding clients now message me saying, I haven't had any wine for 2 weeks. I feel amazing. Well done. That's really good.
Absolutely.
So it's, it's nice to feel like it's a pay it forward thing as well.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt.
Mm.
Particularly in your position. And I completely understand where you're coming from, being a coach, being a mentor, a leader, however people view you. You really begin to positively impact lots of other lives without even realizing how much you're changing their life as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I wanted to ask you if you felt much of a difference in your riding or in your work capacity with regards to, has it reflected positively, having more energy or being more balanced? Or how?
Yeah, definitely. Mood's been better. Mood's been much more level, I have to say, and that's good. Riding wise, my body feels stronger and more streamlined. I feel like when I'm sitting on a horse, I'm closer to the horse because I've basically lost a layer of chub, it was between me and the horse. Bits wobble less, which is nice when you're doing sitting trot, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more confident in, I think as you get a little bit older, it's very easy to have the mindset of, well, I'm heading towards menopause, I'm going to put a bit of weight on. It's inevitable. And then you just wear baggy clothes and you just, it's quite funny now. A lot of my jumpers that I like, my newer jumpers don't fit me. They're all huge. So, I'm having to belt them in and a couple of people have laughed at me and sort of said, have you borrowed those? They're not yours, are they? I used to fit in these. So actually just feeling a bit more confident in how you look in your body is always a nice thing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And I've never been a overly vain person, but for me, and this is probably a bit of a psychological thing, I always think if I'm carrying a bit more weight, it means I'm lazy, even though I'm not. But so I think if I look leaner and fitter, then I'm happier with how I feel about myself.
Yeah. So being where you are at the minute, it sounds like you've created some really positive habits surrounding food, not just around food, but how you relate to food and the importance it plays out in terms of how well you feel, how well you ride, how much energy you've got during the day.
Yeah.
So how much importance will you put on this moving forwards then? Have you learned?
Well, it becomes a lifestyle choice. It's going to continue. Yep. I've changed how I think about ingredients, I think is what I'd say. So I do like baking and things when I get 5 minutes to myself, but I'm really enjoying experimenting with using alternatives, agave syrup and palm sugar and gluten-free flour and all those kind of things. I'm really enjoying playing around with them because then you feel a bit less, it's still a treat, it's still nice, but it's, it's not a negative treat, you're not putting refined sugar and bad fats into your body. So now it's definitely something I'll keep going with.
Fantastic. So knowing where you are now, what would you say to anyone who is where you were 3 months ago in terms of, can I do that? Is it possible? All those questions.
Jump in with both feet because it makes such a big difference. I mean, the two people that made me do this were Kate Walls and Holly Smith, and both great questions, business women, very similar mindset to me, busy, diversifying, all that kind of thing. And, I went to college with Kate years ago, so we know each other quite well. And she just said, oh my God, you've got to do it. It's amazing. I feel so much better in myself. And actually there's loads of food and it's yummy. Because I was a bit concerned, oh my God, it's going to starve me. It's going to make me to lettuce leaf and just starve me. So I think it is jumping in with both feet and doing it. And I mean, I've got a friend who's joined up, as you know, and she's loving it. I saw her the other day and she looks great. She's got a glow back in her skin and everything. How much is your health worth at the end of the day? It's a very wise investment because it isn't just that you're going to do this thing for 3 months. It is that actually this will change, hopefully, your attitude towards food and for some people fitness, but let's face it, I've slightly struggled with that bit, for the rest of your life, so it's well worth the investment. It's
really important you touched on that, I think, Tina, in terms of it being an investment, because someone like yourself will invest in material things, horses, stables, lorries.
Or coaching, training, I heavily invest in my self-improvement from a career point of view, but I don't heavily invest in me. Absolutely.
So overcoming that and accepting that you are able to invest in yourself can be quite a big hurdle for a lot of people, because for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But it really sounds like you have understood the importance of investing in yourself from now moving forwards, which is great.
And actually, I'm spending less on food.
Yeah.
And I'm much more aware of reusing, freezing, recycling. It sounds daft, but from the point of view of if you did the maths on it for the long term, for the next 20 years, how much I'll save, I've paid it off loads of times over. Absolutely. You know, because I'm not buying the processed crap that's a quick win to shove in the microwave as a pig meal, but it's cost you 4 times what the ingredients cost.
Absolutely. Fantastic. It's a real pleasure. It has been a real pleasure working alongside you, working with you, and seeing where you were and now where you are currently. I know you'll continue onward and upward with all the great habits and behaviors, and continue to influence lots of people, I'm sure, over the next months and years to come. So I just want to thank you for all you've put into it.
My pleasure. Thank you for the help.
You're more than welcome.
I wouldn't have done it by picking up a book and looking at a book. That's for sure.
Yeah. All the very best for the future. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.